media members, and welcome Facebook viewers to this, the draw for Bond Hay Match 2. You notice it's a little bit different again. We've got Mr. Beaumont back with us, but new face, we've got Mr. Freeman. He's going to help us out with the draw. There was some nastiness after the last draw. Poor Mrs. Gallagher, who only ever really intended to do her best. Twitter, let's just have a look at the Twitter feed. Some nastiness. I'll let these chaps read these out. Kimmy Simi at Kimmy Simi 934. No idea who these faceless people are, but he wrote.
It's outrageous, this one. Hell's Teeth. Laura's aged a bit. Hashtag long winter off season.
Not acceptable. Arthur's Daily. I buy any car for cash 991. I'm sure you know who you are. I don't think we've got any connection with the society at all here. They wrote.
Tell Pat to say hello to Roy Orbison when she goes back. Hashtag help the aged.
Poor.
Nasty.
Poor. I hope it gives you some sort of satisfaction to be a faceless bully. That's what you are in effect. Right, so this one's for Bond Hay. We've got some members who can't play. They are Andy Hall, Philip Saunders, Patrick Rooney, Lee McMahon and Dan from our work. And there's a slight problem. We've got 5 people to play. His guest is going to be old man John Williams. Joe Sargent's going to go out with Brannigan. Mick Tinker is going out with Al. Simon P with Baz Bailey. And Dan from the Colin, after his bandit type.
Is that him behind?
Yes, it is been behind the barn. That's where he ought to stay. Yes. True bandit. Now, Andrew Hall, who originally claimed he couldn't play, can now play. So if any one of those guests has got a slightly better offer, something that you'd much rather be doing, anything, then I'm sure he would be grateful if you could free up a place. There's no obligation to do that because he's going to honour it. And I'm sure we'll try and work something out on the day. But if anything crops up for you and you don't want to play, Andrew can fill that. Now, the last match at Stirrup, we ought to have known that it would give us a barn door, but we didn't expect to get 7 entries in the barn door.
Barn door?
Yeah, it's the worst shot of the year.
Oh, I see.
And it's voted for by our members at the end of the year.
How did he get teeing off?
Who? Darren Wassell. He was all right, actually.
So he's not one of the 7?
Very nervy. No, he's not one of the 7. There was talk that Baz Bailey, that you should have been a contender, but no, we all know about Rule 11.3. Strong gust of wind blew it, forget it. Andrew Hall was a possible, and 1 or 2 people suggested him. I think he scuffed the ground a little bit like last year. Dan from our work, you can be forgiven. The ignorant man that is Ujjwal Patel, doing practice swings right behind your back at the time you were just not on. So we're not going to include yours.
It's out of order.
It is out of order.
Out of order.
Do you play golf, Blake?
Not at all. Not interested.
Not really your sport.
Not my
but you know that that's an ungentlemanly thing to do.
You can't do that.
Can't
You
at all. Now, there's one shot, or there's one set of shots, should we say, these first 7 entries. When, a bit like Andrew Openshaw, when we first saw them last year, we just knew that was the winner. And I don't want to abuse my media position here at the Colin Golf Society, but I think when you watch these, you will agree that this person is likely to be this year's winner. They all come from the same person. And there's a bit of a misconception that a barn door's got to be from a tee shot, and that's just not the case. One of our members had great foresight to take his camera out and film this little bit of magic partway around the course. It's been described as a meltdown. It's our Christopher Bratt, and the good thing is he's got no idea that he's being filmed.
Brilliant.
Let's have a little look.
Brilliant.
told you. It's quite exceptional. The member wants to remain anonymous who did that filming, but for me they should be made player of the year. I think we need to do a little Judge Rinder and maybe have a moment.
Definitely.
Listen, I think I know that will be the barn door. And let's face it, it wouldn't be a bad thing if Bratty did get that as the barn door, because at least he'd win something in 2016. Exactly. Anyway, members' decision. I don't want to try and influence in any way, shape or form. Let's look at the results for Stirrup. Jamie Wilson won it on 40 points, second by Johnny Platts, the guest, much to the happiness of Rob Brannigan, who also got 39 but lost on a countback. Top of the leaderboard, looking good, and not really as we predicted. Good to see Baz Bailey in there. Sean Robb, Daniel O'Gleave, the Ginger Ninja. There's a few big names made it to the second column who we would have thought been a little bit higher. No doubt Chris Bratt can spot himself there, languishing in 13th. Tim Mercer, 25th. He's a better player than that. I suppose any of this means anything to you.
Has he got some skills, Chris, then?
No.
Because from what I've seen, we're struggling, really.
Here, with golf, none. Howitt.
Yeah.
We had Howitt down to win it this year. You know how long works here, that's how
Right, yeah.
30 seconds.
Yes. 23 points. He did blow, along with Andrew Hall.
Oh dear.
The bottom of the leaderboard looks rough, and of course, Glenn Oliver's dad, Tony, had a bit of a shocker. Only got 10 points.
He has
to wear orange trousers next
I
time.
thought you meant that was the shocker then. He was wearing those trousers.
No. Anyway, interesting that it certainly lives things up. I know one or two have already potentially written the season off. You're just natural quitters, let's put it that way. The other disappointing result of the day was the fact that the only non-member to buy a ticket in the sweepstake was Amanda Wassell, and she won the Grand National. Johnny Platts, he had a good day, took another 50 quid afterwards. Uchi and Dom took a little bit more as well. Right, I think we're ready for the draw. We don't want to dwell on this for too long. We're going to do the draw for the singles after this, and we'll race through it as quick as we can. There are 4 members already placed, mainly of the committee. We have a couple of guests, it'll be apparent who they are. But I think we are more or less ready for the draw. Now we're going to do it by doing a little introduction, by popping down to the most famous address probably in the land, but not before Mrs. Wassell managed to just sweet talk the police.
Gavin's busy with the Prime Minister, so good luck to everyone at Bond Hay. Now let's get on with the draw.
So from the very exclusive setting of number 10 Downing Street, it's time for the Bondi draw. Moustache can't keep the Prime Minister waiting. So they are very cheesy, I know. Okay, so this we'll rattle through this. We'll keep the times on the screen up there. Or it might be that way, I don't know. And then when we've got through, we'll show you the whole thing at the end. So as our this is really important.
On forward again.
Whoever, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No, you can keep them here because we're all crap, right? And it's really embarrassing to have to go first.
Okay.
If you could go in sort of like with almost like a pin cigarette, because there was accusations that we staged it.
I see.
Just this first one, just to
Okay.
prove that it's all above board. I'll let you pick the first. You have a good rummage if you want.
Rummage.
It's a good word.
It's a good
Do you
word.
want to be getting ready?
Have a good rummage.
Have a rummage. And I'll try and give you a bit of information as well as we do it. Brilliant.
We have got M6.
That's Christopher Bratt.
I thought.
M6, Chris Bratt.
M6.
The horrible man, the man who won't win it, according to me, the man who self-proclaimed that he would win it. He's joined 13th on 29 points. He had 33 after his first match last time. The only bad thing about that is he doesn't mind actually going out first.
I see. That's a shame. Let's start again. Let's put them up in.
You can get another one if you like.
39.
39 is Jason Sales. This is still in the 11 o'clock. Joint 13th on 29, same score as Bratty. They should prop each other up as they're going round. This will just be making me put in this.
They've been sellotaped, some of these, I'm telling you. M26.
M26 Nids.
M26.
Nids, currently 4th on 35 points. You did only have 29 after your first match last time. That's an excellent improvement, and Lord knows how you got round with all your... Well, I'll explain in a bit. Let's move on. Let's move... The 1108.
M10.
M10 is Ben Kirk in that one. Ben, positive start. Joint 19th on 28 points. You had 25 after your last one.
We've got M35.
35 is Alan Tinker.
Also says that we've got a guest appearance on
Yes,
the bottom
that's
of this.
very astute. Most people miss that. You're going to be a welcome addition to this panel because honestly, Mick Tinker is also going to go in there. Glenn Olivan's pre-placed. 11-16.
M27.
M27 is Tim Mercer. Bumped into Tim on the train station platform. 27th on 25 points. You did have 34 points after your first match last time, Tim. Not really sure what's happening. Maybe all this business success is playing havoc with your brain.
M15.
M15 is last time's winner, Anthony Hutchinson. Joint 9th on 31.
M5.
M5 is Andrew Openshaw. Didn't do too bad. Joined 13th on 29. He missed his first ever match last season, so there's nothing to compare.
M38.
M38 is Rauch. Alan Willett. 3rd on 36 points from a new member.
Impressive.
That wouldn't tell you that his handicaps are on, wouldn't it?
It would indeed.
Or his conniners.
That's
Bandit. The 11-24.
M30. 31. I had trouble with him last time.
31,
No,
not
13,
13. That's
wasn't
Rob
it?
Kenyon. Rob Kenyon, 28 points. No, he's not. Joint 28th on 24 points. Slight improvement. You were on 20 last time after your first match.
M22.
22 is Dom Oates. Dom, bit of a disaster. 23rd on 24 points.
M14.
M40, he can do better. No, he.
Oh, right.
Dom, he can do better.
Oh, he can. Let himself down.
Wee Little Sean Robb, LSR, is 9th on 31. That's a good score. Very small man.
He's only got M37.
M37 is Jim Finney. Jim didn't post a score at the last match. He was in Japan, I believe, or China. You were out that way.
It's not a good enough excuse.
It isn't really, is it? Anyway, if I knew some Japanese, I would say it, but I don't. So, Jim, you made the last one up in that one. You need to get moving up that leaderboard, though, Jim. 11:32.
M7. I got a guess.
7 is Wassell.
Old man John.
Yeah, and that's Mrs. Williams. You know Mrs. Williams who works here.
No poking.
No pokey. I'm glad you remembered that. I get accused of being nasty, but. Wassell joined 24th on 26 points. You were on 31 after your first match.
Against M8.
8 is Andrew Simpson. No score. No score. You would
No
choose to put your
score.
family and commitments before golf.
And that's what you get.
Deluded, aren't they?
No score.
M12. 12. Sean Mitchell. That'd be a good group, that actually. Sean joined 13th on 29. Dropped a point. You were 30 after your first match last time. In the first one up in 11:40.
We've got M25 with a guest.
Baz Bailey. Joined 6th on 33. They're dizzy heights, Martin. Well done. That's brilliant to see. Who's his guest?
His
Simon.
guest is Simon Payne. What a player.
That's fabulous. Yeah.
M34.
34 is Chris Kenyon. Big hitter. This is another good group. 30 points. Joint 12th.
M18.
M18 is Kevin Homer. Bit of a shocker for Kev.
M40.
Makes up the first one in the 11:48. That's Tony Oliver. Tony will be bedecked in the orange trousers, but we're going to come on and clarify that in a minute. Next up, joining Tony.
M28.
M28 is Craig South. Craig got off to a good start, 28 points. Joint 19.
24.
24 is Stuart Swift. Slight dip in performance, Stuart. You got 29 after your first match last time, 26 currently.
Another guest.
Love the
Tell
guests.
you what, you will have to keep that one. So, because I've only got one more slot. We'll take
No,
yours.
we'll take mine.
Mr. Bowman. Oh, very fair, as you can see.
You can't fix
Very
it.
neat.
And I was looking at that.
Yeah, look at this.
Delicious.
All lined up.
20.
M20.
20 is Mick James. You make up that last one in there. Mick's got off to a flyer. 5th, 34 points, slight improvement on your first match. Next, 11:58, just before 11:56, should I say, just before noon. We'll go with that one, whoever it was.
We're going to go with M21.
M21
With a
is
guess.
Robert Brannigan and Joe Sargent. Then, so Rob
It is.
Brannigan and Joe. Robert Brannigan is second on 39 points. That is a phenomenal start. Very good. Good footballer, him, but he's packed in.
Is it?
Turned his
Wait,
on
is
to
that
golf
thing
and
is,
he's going to wipe floor with his ear.
Wow.
His face. Brannigan downstairs.
Yeah, Keane.
Ah.
Keane Brannigan.
M9.
M9. 9 is Ujjwal Patel. You need to learn some manners, you.
Boo.
Yes.
Boo.
See, these people have never met you, and yet they know that you've got no manners. Halfway around, just walking around with a bottle of Stella and a cigarette on the go. Cool, Ujjwal. You've got more about you than that. But you need to. There's a little bit more decorum on the tee box, I'm afraid. Ujjwal, 35th on 21 points.
We have got M33. You pulled him.
33. John Howitt. John who's struggling.
John Howitt.
He is struggling here now. John's on 30 joint 32nd on 23 points. What's wrong? Something's amiss.
30 seconds.
30
Not bad, is it?
seconds.
How many is it?
40.
40. Yeah, alright, okay.
But we say I've got money on him. I had money
Have
on him
you?
to win and he's
Bet on your mates.
yeah. He's gone. Joining me in the 12:04,
M23.
23, Jamie Wilson, the current leader. I'll drag you down, Jamie, don't worry. First on 40 points, phenomenal. Excellent. Good to see that Rotherham is staying up as well, by the way. Ooh, I've got a bad group here. He's a good player.
I've got Dan Henderson.
Yeah, he's
Not even a number for Dan.
no.
He's got a
He's a
decent
guest. He's a guest, but he can be a standalone guest
I
because
see.
we need to try and slow him down a
I
bit.
see, I see.
Last one in this group.
Yours too.
Yeah.
M17.
M17 is Richard Finney. Wow. And then you've got me. They're all very good players. And then me running around with my
But
camera.
you've got the camera.
See.
I know. Doesn't usually mean
I fancy you for it, Gavin.
yeah, well,
I've got the faith.
I will. To be honest, we're going to speak about my
Mine's
improved
keep it.
performance in a moment
Right.
when we look at the singles results. But
Yes.
I will try, especially if we want to try.
Thank you very much. M19.
It's Ian Smith coming all the way up from London.
All the way from London.
Yeah, great commitment to the society.
Yeah, see.
None of this, I mean,
There was a
Japan
Yeah,
business.
exactly. I was just thinking the same thing.
Absolutely solid.
M29.
It's Jonathan Parkin. He'll not be happy about that going out last. Hang on, we've stopped looking at figures here. 21 points. No, joint 21st.
I've seen him dancing in some of his trousers.
Yeah, you will do. Yeah. He wears them regularly, to be fair, old Bob. But he's a very bitter man.
Is he?
And he loses the game because of the way he's in his head.
Ah,
It's a
see.
game in your head, isn't it, really?
It
He
is
hasn't got the
mental.
personality to
Right.
play. You got 19 last time. You were in the orange trousers. That was probably what you saw.
Was that what I saw?
After your first match last season, Bob. Marked improvement. Keep it going. Last one.
Right, last one then. M16.
David Finney. Good group, good call. And Dave Finney currently 13th on 29. You'll join Jamie, the captain, president, and whatever else he is. That's it. That's wonderful. Let's have a look at the whole thing. exciting, lots to look forward to. It's on May the 7th. We'll meet at 10, first tee off at 11, bacon butties and everything as normal. Bond Hay, very difficult course. We've been talking about it. We think late 20s, early 30 points will win it. Very, very difficult. Lots of water apparently. It's 40 quid a man, that includes your bacon butty and your meal afterwards. The orange trousers. It's not fair if one member gets the orange trousers every time. So what we've said, and we agreed this last time at the AGM, get the orange trousers 3 times in one season and you've got a pair of garish trousers for the rest of your life. We will buy you a pair of trousers.
It's only fair.
It is only fair.
It's only fair.
And then it circulates them around. Had that rule been in place, Big T would have been immune from this and Kevin would have been in them. That would have been quite a thing to see. There was also a little bit of bad vibes in the society. We've got some guests coming in and they won all the prize money. Now, you're not talking a fortune. It's not a lot of money that we're playing for.
It's worth winning that.
Yeah, but what we've said is that in order to be in contention for the prize money, you've got to have got 3 society cards in with us. So as long as you play it 3 times with us, you're in contention for the full prize money.
I agree with that.
It seems only fair.
Yeah, no idea what those cards are, but I agree with that. Definitely.
You've got to play with it 3 times before you pull his pants down and rob all his money.
Right,
That's basically
right.
how it goes.
Yeah, understandable.
Can you indicate to Jamie whether you can play at College Pines or not? The sooner we get that draw done, the better. New handicaps. I've still no idea how I didn't score anywhere near enough points and yet still my handicap came down. It's not a bad thing, just frustrating. Please remember to have your singles matches played. We're going to do the draw in that in 1 second. And just a reminder, if there are any of those guests that we mentioned earlier, if you've got anything slightly better to do, or you get the opportunity to play elsewhere with another society or anything, if you can create space, our president would be very, very grateful.
Honour you.
He would honour you. He would honour you. Anyway, while we just reload our balls, we'll get ready for the next draw for the singles. That's much better. Right, so it is not quite the end of the month, but we are going to do the draw for the singles. Some amazing results have gone in. Openshaw beat Tinker, Brat beat Homer, Craig beat Baz Bailey, that was a good result. Swift beat Oates. I think the result of the day, I've never seen Daniel from our work, or Dan from our work as we should say, I've never seen him so on his game. Tee to green, everything was perfect, but it wasn't good enough on the day. Leathered him.
Yours true.
4-2 to play, yeah. I've turned over a new leaf. Don't know what's happening this season, but it's looking good. Finney, you're through. Salesy, you're through. Tim Mercer very convincingly beat Glenn Oliver, I think. 9 up with 9 to play. And Patel beat Tony. There are some matches that are still to be played. Not going to make an issue of it because it is still April, but it's got to be done by May. This one will be interesting. Bit of a battle. Anyway,
Game.
now what we do it slightly differently.
Right.
If you can pick out, say, the home,
Mm-hmm.
and who you get, they'll all be drawn and played at home. Mr. Beaumont, if you don't mind doing the away draw.
It's fine by me.
And then we've got the end of May to play these, so we'll rattle these off. Here we go. If you want to pick out the first home. Delicate. Try to take
Can't mess this one up.
You wouldn't have thought.
Right, we've got M27.
Tim Mercer.
Tim Mercer, correct.
Play it. Either M30 or M1.
Right, so Tim, you're at home and you're going to either play Andrew Hall or Patrick Rooney when they get their act together and get that match played. Well done. Next one, sir.
Right, here we go. Either M7 or M3.
Right, Daniel, that's Mrs. Swattle's husband.
It is.
He's a terrible man.
Is it?
Oh, he's an awful,
I have
terrible,
heard that. I have heard that.
terrible man. I don't like him, so I love Mrs. Swattle, but I have no time for him and his horrible awfulness. But they've got a home draw. They've got to battle it out. The old rivals, them two. They don't really see eye to
It's a
eye.
big one.
Oh,
A
it's a
derby
big
game.
one, is it?
A
Yeah.
derby
Well,
game as such.
I think it's going to get to the point where they're going to toss a coin.
Right.
Is it?
Mm.
Is it just that?
I think it'll get to that point, and we might have to do that, and we'll film it. Anyway, one of you two is at home.
John Howitt or Michael James.
Right, you're going to either play Howitt or James. That's a good match, actually. Either of them. It'll be that's a good one. It is good. Well done
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you.
Next up,
You've got yourself, Gavin.
through to these dizzy heights of the second round. Well done, Blade. That's a good call because that's a home
M32.
draw.
He's at home.
Gavin.
So Craig South.
That's not bad, actually.
Do you need shotgun?
That'll be, yeah, you can do just to show yourself. That's a good draw. That. I'll just look forward
Is it
to that
doable?
one. He's a good player. He's a good player.
Very
Yeah.
reserved answer there.
I
Very
don't want
reserved.
to open
Oh, we keep getting these.
it. Yeah.
M21 or M8?
So Rob Brannigan or Simi, who've yet to play,
He's got Ujjwal Patel.
will take on Mr. Patel. And Mr. Patel, you're away from home. So I mean that just means you can be as garish as you like.
Ruthless.
Next home draw. Somebody's watching us. Next home is
It's another one.
Yeah.
M10 or M17?
Ben Kirk or who do we get?
It is
on
Ben
there?
Kirk or it's Finney.
Ben Kirk or Richard Finney. Are you coming and going? Don't rattle the door. Tiptoeing. No, they will play Hutchio Parkin. That's that Jonathan that's very miserable.
Yes.
Jonathan.
It's the man of the moment.
There he is.
M6.
Chris Pratt, that's bad. He's got a
Oh,
home
he's at
draw.
home to Andrew Openshaw.
Oh.
That's a big grunt, that.
Well, you see, both of them are mentally they think they're going to win.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so that'll be a
then-
good match. I mean, I suppose on paper, Chris is a little bit better than Andrew, marginally.
Prove him wrong.
Well, he could do, and I hope he does.
Anything can happen.
It can.
Anything can
It's a
Probably
Colin
better
Dawson
than
sign.
Son.
If you like. Got
Sean,
another one. Sean Mitchell or Rob Kenyon?
Against Stuart Swift.
Stuart Swift, that's a good call. Last pairing then. The last pairing. You're grinning at you.
Said please.
Jason.
M39. Jason.
Sales gets the home draw
Against
against
David Finney.
Good match, that. That is a good match. Let's have a look at the whole thing. Right, so try and have them played by the end of May. There's all that time off, extra bank holidays and school holidays and things like that. Weather should be better, light a while later. Twilight can get on for a tenner and things like that, so all be fine there. I don't think there are any other issues to bring you up to date with. Please always have burned in your brain that footage of Bratty was probably still on behind us. That's got to be the barn door. I'm sure there'll be some others from Bondi, but that one will take some topping. Thank you to you, sir.
Thank you
Very
very much.
kind of
Thank
you,
you for
Blaine,
having me. It's been a
for joining
pleasure.
us. Thank you to you,
Enjoyed
sir.
it again. Enjoyed
Very
it again.
kind. Faultless draw. We're getting grinned at by a couple of people over there. We'll see you on the 7th at 10 a.m. Bye. Bye.
Is there any point Andrew Simpson turning up? 0 points. Is he any good?
He was on holiday.
Worry.
Yeah. He is a good player, actually. He's a good player.
You, 24.
What we don't do is we don't speak about me anymore. It highlights just how bad I am. One of the purposes of doing all this media thing is just to get the limelight on other people. Right.